Hello students, I am Ujjwala Deshmukh. I teach Vocational Computer Science at Deccan Education Society's Fergusson College, Pune. Let us start with Chapter 2 of Paper 2, that is Instruction Set and Programming of 8085. As we know, program is a sequence of instructions which causes a computer to perform a particular task. Every instruction in a program has to operate on data. In microcomputer, user program and data is stored in RAM. Also, in 8085 microprocessor, registers are used to store data temporarily. While executing a program, microprocessor has to access the data. Addressing modes specifies the various ways in which data can be accessed. So let us move on to PowerPoint presentation to learn addressing modes and programming model of 8085. So students, let us discuss addressing modes of 8085 microprocessor. Let us see the definition. The various ways of specifying data to be operated by an instruction are called the addressing modes. Alternately, the various formats of specifying data are called addressing modes. So here the addressing modes are nothing but various ways of specifying data. In 8085, there are 5 addressing modes, namely immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, direct addressing mode, and implied addressing mode. So these 5 addressing modes you can remember by forming a short word. RRIID. R, register addressing mode. Second R, register indirect. I, immediate addressing mode. I, implied addressing mode, and D, direct addressing mode. So we will see each addressing mode one by one. Immediate addressing mode. In this addressing mode, data is specified within the instruction. It means the data is specified within the instruction, hence it is called as the immediate addressing mode. The data appears immediately after the opcode of an instruction in program memory. So as you know, the instructions are stored in program memory. So for every instruction there is an operation code which is also called as the opcode. So after the opcode of an instruction, immediately the data is stored in next memory location. If the data specified is 8-bit, then the instruction will require 2 bytes to store in memory. If data specified is 16-bit, 16-bit means 2 bytes, then the instruction will require 3 bytes to store in memory. So 1 byte for opcode of an instruction and 2 bytes to store 16-bit data. Let us see example of this addressing mode. This is the instruction MVIC,05H. In this instruction, the letter I is there, so it indicates immediate addressing mode. This instruction copies data 05 into register C. So within the instruction, 05 is the data. So data is specified in the instruction. So this instruction requires 2 bytes in program memory. So first column here you can see the addresses of the RAM memory locations, then memory content, the data which is stored at this location. So at F010E, which is the opcode for an instruction MVIC,05H is stored. This is the first byte of the instruction. So for every instruction, first byte is the opcode. In the next memory location, that is at F01105, that is the data is stored, which is the second byte of the instruction. So in general, 2 bytes are required to store an instruction if the data is 8 byte. Before execution, suppose register C contains some garbage data. When microprocessor executes this instruction, data 05 is copied into C and register C becomes 05. So here you can see from memory location, the data is stored in memory location and it gets copied into register C. Another example of immediate addressing mode, Alexa H, F0ABH. Load register pair HL with immediate data F0AB. So suppose the instruction is stored in memory, then AB, lower byte of the data, gets copied into register C. F0, higher byte of the data, gets copied into register H. So here you can see that opcode, lower byte, higher byte. So 3 bytes are required to store an instruction. Let's move to the next addressing mode, register addressing mode. In this mode, the data to be operated is available in the register. Hence the name, register addressing mode. The source of operand is general purpose register, whose name is specified in the instruction. These instructions are single byte instruction. It means only one memory location is required. All actions occur within the CPU. So basically, the source of data are general purpose registers and registers are inside the CPU. Hence, all actions related to this addressing mode occurs within the CPU. For example, move B, C. So as you know, B and C are general purpose registers. This instruction copies content of register C into register B. So C is the source of data and B is the destination of data. So here in memory location, opcode for the instruction, that is 41H, is stored, and this is the first byte of an instruction. For example, before execution, B contains garbage data and C contains 56. When instruction is executed, move B, C, contents of C, they are copied into B. So B becomes 56 and C remains as 56. So here, this is the CPU. Inside CPU, these general purpose registers are there. Accumulator is there. Then C contains 56. Because of move B, C, contents of C, they are copied into B. Original contents are lost and B becomes 56. Register indirect addressing mode. In this mode, data to be operated is available in a memory location and address of that memory location is specified by a register pair. So this is very important. Data to be operated is in memory location, but which location? So address of that memory location is specified by a register pair. The register pair RP can be BC, DE, HL, and they can be used to specify address of memory location. Why we need a register pair? Because address of a particular memory location is 16-bit. Each register is 8-bit, so we require a register pair to store 16-bit address of memory location. These are 1-byte instruction. It means only opcode for an instruction has to be stored in memory. For example, add M. This instruction adds content of memory location whose address is in register pair HL with contents of accumulator and result is placed in accumulator. So here M is a very specific notation. M is a memory location in user RAM whose address is stored in register pair HL. In 8085 microprocessor, register pair HL is a default memory pointer. So here RAM location is there, RAM addresses and data is there. Initially accumulator contains 06 and HL contains F025. So F025 is the address of memory location. HL is pointing to that memory location, M. At this address, at this memory location, the data stored is 03. So add M will add data in memory location with data in accumulator. So 06 plus 03 and result is 09, which is stored in accumulator. So here HL is acting as a memory pointer. It points to location in memory. Direct addressing mode. The address of an operand is specified within the instruction. In this mode, the data to be operated is available in a memory location. Address of memory location is directly specified as an operand. In this mode, address of operand appears after the opcode of an instruction in program memory. So here in direct addressing mode, address of data is directly specified in the instruction. Hence, the name of the addressing mode. So data is in memory, but address of that memory location is directly specified in the instruction. That's why it is called direct addressing mode. These are 2-byte and 3-byte instructions. For example, LDAF000H, load accumulator with contents of memory location F1000H. This instruction loads accumulator with content of memory location F000H. So here F1000 is the address of memory location which is given directly in the instruction, and data to be operated on is stored at this address. Now LDAF1000H, this is address of the operand F1000 and the data is copied into accumulator. So before execution, accumulator may contain garbage data and the contents of memory location F1000, they are 35. When microprocessor executes this instruction, load accumulator with contents of F1000H, accumulator contents becomes 35 and contents of F1000H remains the same. So here you can see this is the RAM locations. Here is the memory location with address F1000. At this memory location, data stored is 35. So when instruction is executed, 35, that is data, where is the data? The data is in memory. At which location? F1000. This address is given in the instruction and data gets copied into accumulator. So contents of accumulator becomes 35. Implied addressing mode. In this mode, generally the operand is not specified within the instruction and it is predetermined. It means the location of the operand is predetermined. The microprocessor already knows the location of data to process and programmer need not specify it explicitly. So here in implied addressing mode, microprocessor already knows the location of data. Generally, the operand is in accumulator. So the predetermined location is the accumulator. All actions occur within CPU. It means accumulator is within the CPU. Hence, all operations related to this addressing mode occurs within CPU. These are single byte instructions. CMA, complement accumulator. This instruction complements content of accumulator and result is stored in accumulator. So we are going to learn these instructions in the instruction set, but here I am taking a particular instruction as an example. Now, before execution, suppose accumulator contains 53H. As we know, accumulator is a 8-bit register. So these are the 8 bits of accumulator, and here this is 0101, that is 5, and this is 0011, this is 3. So these bits are stored in accumulator. When microprocessor processes this instruction CMA, it will complement each bit of an accumulator, that is 1, complement of 1, 0, complement of 1, 0, complement of 0, 1, complement of 0, 1, complement of 1, 0, complement of 0, 1, complement of 1, 0, and complement of 0, that is 1. So after execution, now it becomes 1010, that is A, and 1100, that is C. So here, as you know, CMA, it is not followed by the immediate data or name of a register or address of a memory location or the indirect addressing. So none of the register pair is pointing at a memory location where data is stored. So where is the data? Data is in accumulator, and microprocessor already knows the location of data, and it will operate this instruction on the data which is present in accumulator. That is implied addressing mode. Now let us move on to programming model of 8085. The programming model assists you in the programming process. The programming model includes only those parts of the microprocessor which the programmer can access. So in chapter 1, you must have studied block diagram of 8085. In block diagram of 8085, there are various blocks: ALU, instruction register, instruction decoder, accumulator, flag register, timing and control unit, then the register section, stack pointer, program counter, then address bus, data bus, then serial IO control, interrupt control. So all these blocks are there in the block diagram of 8085. Now out of these, which parts are accessible to the programmer? So programming model of 8085 is nothing but the parts of the microprocessor which are accessible to the programmer. Then the instruction set is based on these parts. Okay, so programming model of 8085 includes accumulator. Accumulator is 8-bit. So here in bracket 8 means the size of the register is written. So accumulator, then flag register. So then the general purpose registers B, C, D, E, H and L. Also stack pointer SP. Now here it is written 16. Stack pointer is a 16-bit register. Program counter PC is a 16-bit register. Okay, so this diagram is important, and frequently the question is asked on this programming model of 8085. So programming model of 8085 includes accumulator, flag register, registers B, C, D, E, H, L, stack pointer and program counter. Only these parts are accessible to the programmer. Now let us see the function of each block. Accumulator. Accumulator is a 8-bit register, and that is part of the ALU. It is denoted by A. This register is used to store 8-bit data and to perform arithmetic and logical operations. The result of arithmetic and logical operation is stored in the accumulator. So accumulator is a very important register. It accumulates result. Also it stores 8-bit data. Also it can be used to store intermediate results of processing. Flag register. Now microprocessor 8085 has 5 flags. Basically, flag register is 8-bit, but only 5 bits have been allotted the significance. The 3 bits are unused. Now, what is the use of flag register? The 5 flags indicate condition of data. So, whenever arithmetic and logical operation is performed by the microprocessor, after each operation, the flags will be set or reset, indicating condition of data. So let us see the 5 flags. Sign flag. If the result of arithmetic and logical operation is positive, the sign flag is reset. Else, if the result is negative, the sign flag is set. So what is the significance of this sign flag? It indicates polarity of the result, whether it is positive or negative. Zero flag. The result of arithmetic and logical operation is 0. If the result is 0, then the 0 flag is set, else it is reset. So if I am doing 35 minus 35, so result is 0. In that case, 0 flag will be set. Otherwise, it will be reset. Auxiliary carry flag. This flag is set if there is a carry generated from D3 to D4 bit of an accumulator, else it is reset. So as we know, during arithmetic and logical operation, one of the operand is always in accumulator and result of operation is placed in accumulator. So during that operation, if carry is generated from D3 to D4 bit of accumulator, then auxiliary carry flag is set. Otherwise, it is reset. Parity flag. This flag is set if result stored in accumulator has even parity. Else, it is reset. So what do you mean by even parity? If the result contains even number of ones, then we say that result has even parity. In that case, parity flag is set. Else, it is reset. Carry flag. This flag is set if carry is generated by most significant bit D7 during an operation, else it is reset. So if the carry is generated from D7 bit of accumulator, then carry flag is set. Otherwise, it is reset. Secondary accumulator or data counters. So in programming model, we have seen accumulator, flag register followed by the 6 general purpose registers. The general purpose registers B, C, D, E, H, L are also called as secondary accumulator or data counters or address pointers when used in pairs. So here these registers can be used to store data. They can be used to store intermediate results, and if you use them in pairs, they become 16-bit, and such 16-bit registers can be used as a memory pointer or address pointers. These general purpose registers are used to store 8-bit data and intermediate results during program execution. They can be combined as register pairs BC, DE, HL to store 16-bit data or address and to perform some 16-bit operations. For example, double byte addition. So you need a register pair for that. Program counter. It is 16-bit register which deals with sequencing the execution of instructions. So as you know, program is a sequence of instruction. So program counter tells microprocessor which is the next instruction to be executed. Now, why it is 16-bit? Because it contains address of a memory location where next instruction is stored. Program counter always contains 16-bit address of memory location where next executable instruction is stored. That's how it sequences the execution of a program. Once the instruction is executed, it is automatically incremented and points to the next executable instruction. Stack pointer. It is 16-bit register. Stack pointer is used to point to the address of data which is at the top of the stack. So in architecture of 8085, you have studied concept of stack. Stack is a part of RAM and it is used for temporary storage of data. In order to use memory locations in stack, you require a memory pointer. So stack pointer is a memory pointer for stack. It points to a memory location in read-write memory called stack. So these are the blocks of programming model of 8085. Based on these two topics, board questions can be like this. Explain following addressing modes of 8085 by giving suitable example. So they can ask any two addressing modes for 4 marks. So explanation of each mode along with example carries 2 marks. Then another type is identify addressing modes of following instruction and justify your answer. MVI D,05. So you have to identify addressing mode of the instruction. For example, immediate addressing mode. Move C, M. M means register indirect addressing mode. CMA, implied addressing mode. With suitable diagram, explain programming model of 8085 microprocessor. So the question comes for 3 marks. 1 mark for diagram of programming model and 2 marks for explanation. So multiple choice questions for 1 mark can also be asked on this topic. So I hope you have understood the discussion. So students, today we have learned definition of addressing mode. Addressing modes are nothing but various ways of specifying data. There are 5 addressing modes in 8085. Immediate addressing mode. In this mode, data is specified within the instruction itself. Register addressing mode. The data is specified in the register. Register indirect addressing mode. Data is in memory location, but the address of that memory location is pointed by register pair HL, BC or DE. So indirect addressing is there. Direct addressing mode. In this mode, the address of the data is specified in the instruction and data is stored in memory. Implied addressing mode. In this mode, the location of data is predetermined. The microprocessor already knows where is the data. Generally, the data is in accumulator and the programmer need not specify the location of the data. Programming model of 8085 tells us parts of a microprocessor which are accessible to the programmer. In 8085, a microprocessor programming model includes accumulator, flag register, registers B, C, D, E, HL, stack pointer and program counter. I hope you have understood the topic. Thank you.